Hey guys, we're going to go through the notes. Hopefully this won't take too long. We're going to go through and solve systems by substitution. And what substitution means is that you're going to replace the variable with a number and solve. Replace the variable with a number and solve. So what we're going to do is take a variable. You have x or y. It could be any letter. You take the variable, you're going to replace it with a number, and then you can solve the equation. So look at example 1. It says if x, comma, -3 is a solution to 2x plus 3y equals -11, what's the value of x? So we have our value of x, and we have, this is the y value. So it gives us the y value. So what we're going to do is take this -3, we're going to plug it in for y. So you'd have 2x plus 3 times, we set it -3, and that equals -11. And it says, what's the value of x? So now all we have to do is solve for x. So 2x stays the same. 3 times -3, that's going to be a -9, and it equals -11. Okay, so we're going to add 9 to both sides. 9's cancel. You have 2x equals -11 plus 9. That's going to be -2. Divide both sides by 2. So your answer is going to be x equals -2 divided by 2 is -1. That would be your x coordinate. The next part of this says the solution of a system. This is what we've been talking about. The solution of a system is where they intersect. So it's just the point of intersection. The point of intersection. With the emphasis being on intersection. It's where they intersect. It's where they intersect. Okay, kind of a cool little thing we used to teach substitution is kind of treating it like a sandwich. You have 3 different parts. 2 pieces of bread and the meat. So what it says here is the bread is the equation that is already solved for the single variable. So basically the bread is y equals everything else, or x equals everything else. You either solve for the single variable. So if you look at the example here, you have 2 different equations. In the equation that the single variable is solved for is x right here. This is your bread. So the way the notes are set up, you could write that in for bread. X equals 3y. Bread x equals 3y. We just copy those down. I'm going to move this around a little bit. Okay. Come on. There we go. That's fine. Alright, now we're going to solve this. If that's the bread, then the meat is the other equation. So the meat is -x minus 2y equals 46. Okay, so again, we have 2 different equations. One of it's the bread, and one of it's the meat. I know it's kind of silly, but it might help you remember. It's good stuff. So what you need to do now is take whatever that variable is. In this case, we have x equals 3y. So we're going to take 3y, and we're going to plug it in for x. Why are we plugging in for x? Because we have x equals. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug it in. So we have negative. Anytime I plug in whatever it is right here, anytime we plug that in, put it in parentheses. So we plugged it in for x, so we're plugging in 3y. Everything else is the same, minus 2y equals 40. Oh, I forgot to change this to a 5. Sorry. Change the 6 to a 5. So change this to a 5. Make it 45. Change it to a 5. Now all of it's in terms in y. Now we can solve for y. So you have -3y minus 2y equals 45. How many y's do you have? You have negative 3, you have negative 2. They're both y's. We can combine those. We have negative 5y equals 45. Last step is to divide by negative 5. And we end up with y equals, the 5's cancel, 45 divided by negative 5 is going to be a negative 9. Okay, so there's our y value. That's what we need. That's one of it. Now we need to find the x value. Well, and that's why we have the bread. We have the other part. We can take that y value and we can plug it into this equation now. It's a smaller equation. You can plug it into either equation, but this is a smaller equation. We can plug it in. So we have x equals 3 times, we just found that y is negative 9. So that would mean x equals 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. All right, we have an x and we have a y. Our solution is that point. So the x is negative 27. The y is negative 9. We found the solution. We found that point of intersection. The back side of this page is 3 more examples. Here at the top. Again, what is the bread? What is the meat? The bread is the equation that has a single variable solved for. So the bread in this case is going to be y equals x minus 2. The meat is the other equation, which is 4x minus 3y equals 9. Okay? Now the next step, again, take this. Y equals that. So if y equals x minus 2, we can take x minus 2 and we can plug that in for y. On the last problem, we had x equals, so we plugged it in for x. On this one, we have y equals. So let's do that. We have 4x minus 3 times our y value is x minus 2, so we're going to put that in parentheses, x minus 2. And that equals 9. We have parentheses. Let's distribute. So that would become negative 3x, and that would become positive 6. Our 4x stays the same out here, and it still equals 9. 4x minus 3x, that's going to be x, plus 6 equals 9. Subtract 6. So we would have x equals 9 minus 6 is 3. There's our x coordinate. We can take that value and we can plug it in to x. So we have y equals, we just said x is 3, so 3 minus 2. You can always get in the habit of plugging that in parentheses. So you have 3 minus 2, y equals 1. Our x value is 3, so in our solution, x is 3, the y value is 1. Okay? It's the same pattern throughout all of these. Again, what's our bread? We're looking for y equals or x equals. In this case, we have y equals. So bread, y equals 3x minus 5. And then the other equation is the meat. So 4y equals 12x minus 4. Y equals 3x minus 5. Let's plug that in for y. So we'd have 4 times 3x minus 5. That's going to equal 12x minus 4. Distribute. Boom, boom. You have 12x minus 20 equals 12x minus 4. Subtract 12x. 12x is canceled on both sides. You're left with negative 20 equals negative 4. Does negative 20 equal negative 4? No. So those are not equal. This problem has no solution. This would be parallel lines. And if you go back and look at your equations, if we divided both sides by 4 right here, your slope right here, your slope would be 3x, which is the same slope as this. There would be parallel lines. That circle with a line through it, let's just say it's no solution. Or you could write none, no solution. All those are good answers. Last example on the notes. What is the bread? Again, look for y equals or x equals. So we have y equals negative x plus 4 and we also have the meat, which is the other equation. We have 3x plus 3y equals 12. Okay, so let's take the bread and let's plug it in. Y equals negative x plus 4. So we're going to plug that in for y. Why are we plugging it in for y? Because it tells us y equals. So we have 3x plus 3 times negative x plus 4. And that equals 12. We got parentheses, so we distribute. So we have 3 times negative x, that's negative 3x. 3 times 4, that's plus 12. And then don't forget the 3x over here. Alright, and it equals 12. So we have 3x minus 3x. Those cancel each other out. We have 12 equals 12. This is true. If it's true, if this works out, then this is all reals. This is the same line. This would be the same line. Alright guys, that's it. We'll see y'all tomorrow, and have a great evening.